This month on Connections. Our journey around Chicagoland begins along the Green Line with a step back in time, searching for treasures at the Chicago Antique Market, our first stop. Next, as we make our way to the Brown Line, we'll tell you about one initiative that's helping to put the clean in the CTA's motto, on time, clean, safe, and friendly. We'll transfer to the Brown Line for a closer look at one of the CTA's most important construction projects, designed to ease congestion and add accessibility to this historic rail line. As we make our way toward the southern end of the loop, we'll tell you why the CTA is the way to go for more and more people. And along the way, we'll take you behind the scenes for a look at CTA Rail Training. Next, we're heading south to our destination, South Shore and South Chicago, two neighboring lakefront communities you should put on your list of places to visit. Then we're on our way back north with a story about the CTA Visitor Pass and new machines that make it even easier for you to get them. Finally, get ready for the view of a lifetime as the number 3 King Drive bus drops us off within walking distance of the Hancock Center, our last stop. Don't let another day go by without enjoying and exploring Chicagoland on the CTA. Hi, I'm Dale Rivera. Welcome to Connections, where you can learn all about using the CTA in and around Chicago. Just steps from the Green Line's Ashland stop is the Randolph Street Market District. It's an historic area, fitting for a market where antiques and other collectibles are sold. The Chicago Antique Market is our first stop. Whether you're looking for antique furniture, knickknacks, or art, chances are you'll find it, and a whole lot more, at the Chicago Antique Market.
Variety. Lots of variety. Lots to shop for. We're finding things we don't need.
Located just west of the Loop along Randolph Street, the Chicago Antique Market attracts thousands of antique lovers from all over the country with one common goal: treasure hunting in the heart of Chicago.
Well, the Midwest is just it's a hotbed of antiques that you find close to the source, so the coasts come here to shop.
Sally Schwartz and Kathleen Finley started the Chicago Antique Market just last year, and already it has doubled in size. They felt if Paris, London, New York, and Los Angeles had this kind of cultural treasure, Chicago had to have one too. Today, it's one of the top 3 urban antique markets in the country. Marcia Iveskis deals in Art Deco furnishings and jewelry from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. She's one of about 200 dealers exhibiting their wares at the market.
I liked the old movies. I used to watch the old movies, and I always liked the clothing, and I'd look at the furniture. So I wanted to go into the antique business, and that was the period that attracted me.
Dealers like Ron Chrisman, who specializes in 18th, 19th, and 20th century Americana, also use the venue as an opportunity to broaden their business.
I've bought probably 9 or 10 items here at this market, so I look to this as sources. I establish buying relationships with some of the dealers here and sell to some of them.
A new addition this year, the Indie Designer Fashion Market, a bazaar within the market where up-and-coming designers showcase their haute couture.
I think that they're surprised at exactly how contemporary this stuff is down in this particular area instead of being antiques.
Twin sisters Erica and Monica Simmons are the designers of Double Stitch, fun fashions created entirely by crochet, and the twins are hooked on the value of the market's mass appeal.
At this particular event, being able to look at furniture and then look at clothing, and then somebody that loves Betty Boop could find a Betty Boop poster. You can't find that all under one roof or in one area. We do that quite frequently.
Whether you're in the market for hip duds, vintage leather goods, a gumball machine, an antique bird cage, some classic LPs, or anything in between, head to the Chicago Antique Market. Who knows? you could find that diamond in the rough. The Chicago Antique Market is held the last Sunday of every month from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. through October on Randolph Street between Ada and Ogden. Visit chicagoantiquemarket.com for more information, and of course, let the CTA take you there. Here's how.
It's like a lifestyle, it's a study, it's curious, and everybody has a past, so it's very uniting.
You're missing out on a great market if you haven't come here yet.
The CTA is always looking for additional ways to manage its costs. One initiative is allowing the CTA to save money while keeping the system tidy. It's just another way the CTA is making every dollar count. The next time you notice a cleanup effort around a CTA property, think SWAP. That's an acronym for the Sheriff's Work Alternative Program.
It's a community service for the people of Cook County and the Chicagoland area. These are offenders who have committed very different types of offenses that are jailable for 1 year or fines or both due to overcrowding of the jails. They devised this program through Sheriff Shan and his people. It's a good program. It serves as a community at no cost.
As many as 40 people during the week and 80 people on weekends help clean CTA bus turnarounds, properties near the L, and other CTA facilities. They remove graffiti, pick up debris and garbage, do landscaping, and handle snow removal in the winter. So far this year, SWAP teams have worked at over 170 CTA facilities.
We have a responsibility to be a good neighbor, and that includes cleaning up our parcels. We have a finite amount of laborers, so we've worked with the Sheriff's Work Alternative Program to help us clean up around these properties, and it's been a great success.
Last year, the CTA saved over $2.2 million in cleanup costs, thanks to SWAP. The Cook County Sheriff's Department would like to assure the community that SWAP workers have been convicted of minor offenses only and are being properly and carefully supervised at all times. SWAP is just one more way the CTA is reducing operating costs and helping to keep the clean in its motto: on time, clean, safe, and friendly service.
We play an important role in each of the communities we're in, and I think it's important that we keep our facilities as clean as possible.
We're getting on the Brown Line, one of the CTA's busiest rail lines. Since 1979, ridership on this line has nearly doubled. And if you use the Brown Line, especially during rush hour periods, you're no doubt feeling the squeeze. But the CTA is hard at work on a solution to reduce overcrowding: the Brown Line Capacity Expansion Project, an important initiative to keep CTA customers on the move. The CTA's Brown Line, running from Kimball to the north and the Merchandise Mart to the south, is a popular CTA rail line and historic.
The Brown Line has been around for well over a century, and it connects the near northwest side with the Chicago Loop.
With the surrounding neighborhood's rapid growth, ridership along this line has grown too.
The Brown Line carries about 66,000 customers every day downtown and back. So our weekday ridership has grown tremendously since the mid-1990s.
But with that growth comes congestion, which means it's time to expand capacity. If you've ever taken the line, you may have noticed it gets crowded during rush hours.
Operationally, we've done everything we can in its current configuration. 6-car trains, rush hour peak, are about 3 minutes apart, and we supplemented the service with the Purple Line, making all stops from Belmont through the Brown Line stations into the Loop. But even with this, we can't accommodate the ridership growth.
In order to meet ridership demand, the CTA has embarked on a $530 million Brown Line capacity expansion project. Platforms will be lengthened so they can accommodate 8-car trains rather than 6. That's the equivalent of putting about 9 more 6-car trains into service, a 33% increase in capacity. Being able to accommodate more customers is one of the key objectives of the project. But Brown Line customers can expect even more.
We'll be rebuilding the station houses or the entrances to the stations, which will allow our customers better circulation, improve fare control to speed them on their journeys. There will be wider staircases.
Many of the stations along the Brown Line were built between 1896 and 1907, so many fixtures are in need of upgrades.
All the lighting will be replaced, all the platform amenities, benches, heaters, windbreaks, all the things of that sort will be replaced, making all a more pleasant environment for the customers.
Fiber optic cable will also be installed at stations, which will make announcements clearer. And another important addition, access for customers with disabilities.
All Brown Line stations ADA compliant. In other words, making all elevated stations equipped with elevators, all stations in the at-grade portion of the Brown Line equipped with ramps and things of that nature.
The countdown to the new Brown has already begun. Work on the substations, signals, and communication systems began late last year, with station construction beginning this fall. Work will be completed by 2009. Station construction will be done in phases so that the Brown Line will continue to operate throughout the entire project.
The line will remain open during construction, and our intention is to minimize any inconvenience to our customers and to our neighbors.
Although some temporary station closures will be necessary, no two adjacent stations will be closed at the same time on weekdays to minimize any inconvenience to CTA customers.
The Brown Line is laid out in such a way that the stations are relatively close to one another, such that if one station is not available for customers, the adjacent station is not far away. In fact, it's walkable and will make those stations available when their existing station might be temporarily closed.
And many of the CTA's bus lines stop at Brown Line stations too.
In addition to the close proximity of other stations, the buses that service the Brown Line stations will continue to run throughout the project, making that another viable option for customers during construction.
The Brown Line Capacity Expansion Project represents more than a $500 million commitment on the federal, state, and local levels to the Brown Line and the neighborhoods it serves. The CTA's Brown Line is a vital link for residents and businesses, making this project not only a necessity, but an opportunity for future growth.
We're looking to meet the needs now and the future needs, not only of this northwest side, but also of the entire city.
The CTA is a customer-driven business, a fact not lost on new employees. On the rail side, that philosophy is taught from day one of a highly specialized training program where they learn the technical and the customer service skills necessary to keep day-to-day operations on track.
It won't be long before you see these faces working on the CTA rail system. They're in training to become the next crop of the CTA's finest.
They start off fresh, not having any experience as a rail operating employee. We take them and we train them on the basics of what train operation is, on train safety, and CTA safety overall.
The CTA's rail training class takes new hires and transforms them into combined rail operators, or CROs. Training is done in the classroom and in the field. And by the time they complete training, these new CTA employees will have learned all about CTA operations, customer service, and safety.
It's extremely important that our operators learn from us at the beginning the importance of safety and the importance of just being a good overall employee.
The CROs learn a variety of skills, enabling them to do 4 distinct jobs: customer assistant, switchman, flagger, and train operator.
We've always had those classifications of employees and there were separate training programs. But it's a good idea to combine them all so that we can get a more rounded rail operating employee.
The class enforces all of the CTA's standard operating procedures for the rail system. They learn the fundamentals of electricity and the third rail, about following security procedures and keeping customers safe at all times. Trainees are also taught the importance of customer service. They learn how to help customers with everything from directions to purchasing fare media to assisting customers with disabilities. As this recent graduate will tell you, rail training is invaluable.
The class has helped me be a better employee, and you'll be able to utilize the information that you gain from the class to help you out in any situation.
As with any business, at the CTA, the customer always comes first.
Customer service is an important focus because we like to win over new customers and we want to retain our old customers. We want to make sure people have a pleasant riding experience and come back and use our service.
And CTA customers can feel confident knowing that they're in good hands. Rail operators have been expertly trained to provide a comfortable and safe ride.
We take time, we take pride in the training of these new employees because we're concerned with our riding public's safety.
New 2005 statistics show that more and more people are using the CTA to get around. And why not? It's easy, convenient, safe, and affordable. So hop on the bandwagon. All you need is a little basic training.
I use it every day. I take it from the Armitage stop here, and then I take the bus, the 66 Chicago, to work.
CTA customer Madeline Messer-Brooks is one of the many people who ride the CTA every day.
It's cheaper for me to take the CTA, and it's just more convenient. You know, I just know it's going to take me exactly where I want to go.
She's caught on to the idea that public transit is the most convenient, cost-effective mode of transportation around. The CTA has made so many customer-focused improvements recently that ridership has increased in 6 of the past 7 years. And 2005 is on track to be another year of growth, too.
We're seeing strong growth on the weekday, which reflects job growth. We're seeing strong growth in the weekends, which reflects the fact that people are using transit more than they used to.
The CTA has implemented service enhancements on 68% of its bus routes and on all 7 rail lines. They include new routes, improved connection points, increased frequency, and extended hours of operation.
We found that there is a demand for trips both early in the morning and late at night for people who are working early or late shifts, and we've been working to accommodate that kind of demand.
2 of every 3 rides are provided by CTA buses, so it was important to the CTA to install air conditioning and equipment to make the bus fleet accessible for people with disabilities. That's in addition to improved routes and service.
We focused a lot of attention also on improving the bus experience for people. And we've done that in several ways. We've redesigned bus routes. We've done it on the north and south sides, and we'll be going to other areas that we serve too.
Part of the increase in ridership has been attributed to weekend discretionary trips, meaning rides for shopping, entertainment, and other social activities.
When we see that type of trip increased on CTA, it's an indicator of both the quality of service out there, but also the attractiveness of public transportation versus driving.
In fact, 70% of CTA customers have access to alternative transportation such as cars, but many of them are choosing the CTA instead.
When you increase the level of service, when you lower the wait time for a transit vehicle, the product becomes more attractive and you see more people ride.
When a fare increase took effect in early 2004, ridership was expected to drop.
It actually didn't, which is an indication, I think, that people still believe they have a very good value, as they do, on our rides.
This good news further demonstrates the CTA's position that public transportation is vital to the region, and that providing proper funding for public transit is critical to future operations. The CTA will continue to work with the Illinois General Assembly to find a solution to the funding crisis. To get acquainted or reacquainted with the CTA, just log on to transitchicago.com. You'll find everything you need to know about planning a trip, from buying fare cards and looking up maps to using the route planner. Or call 1-888-YOUR-CTA for answers to all of your questions about getting to your next destination.
It's a good, convenient, easy way to get around. It's one of the reasons that this region is so vital and vibrant and so competitive, and such a great place to live and work and play.
If you need a little R&R, 2 South Side Chicago neighborhoods may give you the respite you're looking for. These historic lakefront communities offer family activities, entertainment, and sightseeing year-round. Our destination? South Shore and South Chicago.
From its sandy shores and green links to its dancing and performing arts, the South Shore and South Chicago neighborhoods are filled with fun and culture. Bob Nash is vice chairman of Shore Bank, a business founded here and long committed to this community. He knows the area firsthand and has offered to show us around.
So Bob, what makes South Shore and South Chicago such great destinations?
This is a wonderful neighborhood, as you can see. Beautiful homes, it's green, it's clean, it's safe. There are beaches, great places to eat, great places to work, and families and children love it.
Like many of Chicago's diverse neighborhoods, South Shore and South Chicago have gone through many incarnations. Today, these communities represent a melting pot of cultures and ethnic groups.
It's a tight-knit neighborhood. People get along, people work together, work for each other, work with each other.
But no matter where you call home, you'll want to visit one of South Chicago's historical and spiritual treasures, the Sacred Heart Croatian Church, where handmade religious icons and stained glass from Italy have stood the test of time. Another time-honored gem, the Jackson Park Highlands, a section of beautiful homes along the South Shore with a distinctly southern flavor.
I think in about 1988, the city named it as a landmark neighborhood. It's an example of 20th century architecture.
Whether it's financing for home purchases here in the Highlands or elsewhere, Shore Bank has been committed to this community's renaissance for over 30 years. The bank also takes pride in being a good neighbor.
Tell me some of the things that your business does to fit into the community.
Well, for an example, there's a farmer's market that we hold every Wednesday on our parking lot. So we give it free of charge to these farmers.
Shore Bank also participates in the community's annual jazz festival and art exhibitions. And there's much more art and culture to discover around these South Lakefront communities. The ETA Creative Arts Foundation has served as a cultural cornerstone here for the last 34 years.
We do a number of programs and services for this community and for the city at large. In fact, we're recognized as being a cultural treasure.
ETA produces 6 original main stage productions every year, as well as Show Folk, a daytime performance series for students. But ETA is not the only cultural venue in this community.
We have some wonderful activities offered here at South Shore Cultural Center, from our wonderful Park Kids program, to our hip-hop classes for teens, to our wonderful gospel aerobics.
Once an exclusive country club, the South Shore Cultural Center is now considered the gem of the South Lakefront.
Nowhere else on the south side of Chicago can you go and enjoy a wonderful golf course, go and enjoy a wonderful beachfront.
People of all ages should also check into the many offerings at nearby Rainbow Park and Beach.
The Fieldhouse offers basketball, volleyball, salsa dancing, a fitness class. We have a wonderful Park Kids program there. We have wonderful programs for our seniors and community. Hey, we have something from 1 to 100.
Plus one of only 3 wall handball courts in the Midwest, and a shore that offers one of the most beautiful lakefront views around. So whether you're looking for a dose of culture, a spin around the dance floor, a par 3, or a stroll in the sand, you can find it in the South Shore and South Chicago neighborhoods. And let the CTA take you there. Here's how.
There are friendly people. It's a great neighborhood. We're located right at the end of Lakeshore Drive. You can get on the CTA and be downtown in 20 minutes.
Many visitors to the area find the CTA one of the easiest ways to get around. It's made even easier with the CTA Visitor Pass, and with vending machines that allow customers to purchase them with either cash or plastic. It's just one more way the CTA is improving travel for its customers each time they step on board.
Visitors to Chicago are arriving in droves. Chicago now ranks as the #1 destination for business travel and the #4 destination for leisure travel in the U.S. That's why the CTA's Visitor Pass makes it easier than ever for tourists to get around our world-class city.
Visitor passes give tourists access to almost anywhere you can imagine, our beautiful parks, conservatories, museums, nightlife. It allows visitors to explore and to do it just carrying one pass. It's very convenient.
Visitors can take advantage of the ease and convenience of CTA service, as well as the ease of purchasing visitor passes at newly upgraded Visitor Pass vending machines. New machines feature added convenience by accepting debit and credit cards in addition to cash.
Convenience is always a top priority for the CTA. Whatever we can do to make it easier for the customer to purchase and ride our system, that's what we look at.
My wife and I thought we'd check out the city using the public transport system, and the most cost-effective way of doing that was to get a one-day pass for today.
Customers can find Visitor Pass vending machines at 3 stations along the O'Hare branch of the Blue Line: Cumberland, Rosemont, and O'Hare. There's also one at the Orange Line's Midway station and 2 at the Red Line's Chicago Avenue station. For those taking a stroll along North Michigan Avenue, a Visitor Pass machine can be found at the Waterworks Visitor Center. And the most recent addition is at Union Station for visitors coming into the city from the suburbs.
The machine is great. It has many different options. Today I'm going to purchase a one-day pass, which is $5. And I just press it here, and I also choose that I'm going to use my bank credit card.
Visually impaired customers will find the machines easy to use with its braille type and audio component.
Welcome to CTA. Press 2 for a one-day pass.
And there's even a Spanish language option.
Presione el número 2 para un pase de un día.
Since installing the upgraded vending machines with the credit card features, sales of visitor passes have gone up. Today, vending machine sales account for 32% of total visitor pass sales, making it good business for the CTA.
We started installing them June 1st. Since that time, we've sold over 30,000 passes and close to a value of $300,000.
In fact, with the addition of the new Visitor Pass vending machines, Visitor Pass usage overall is on the rise.
We've had tremendous response from our new Visitor Pass vending machines. I think because they're located in key Chicagoland destinations, points where tourists travel.
For those spending a few days in Chicago, remember the Visitor Pass is a convenient and economical way to get around town.
It's just a great way to get around, and we're going to see a lot of sights today.
While taking in the sights around Chicagoland on the CTA, be sure to head to North Michigan Avenue and a popular attraction with a rare skyline view. The Hancock Observatory is our last stop.
There's no question Chicago offers outstanding views. The lake, the skyline, the Magnificent Mile, but nothing quite compares to the view at the top of Big John.
It's an incredible place to see the city. Experience it up 1,000 feet over Chicago's Magnificent Mile. You've got up to 4 states. You can see Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan on the clearest day. It's a wonderful place to kind of get away from the hubbub of down below.
It's not what you might remember from that grade school field trip. The Hancock Observatory underwent a $3 million renovation in 1997. Now visitors can explore an interactive photo exhibit, a history wall, talking telescopes, games, gifts, and a skywalk for open-air viewing.
And this is just a wonderful panorama of our city, which I think is absolutely beautiful.
So come check out one of the best views of the Midwest from the top of the 4th tallest building in the world. The Hancock Observatory is open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., and the CTA can take you there.
The number 3 King Drive bus will drop us off within a couple blocks at the John Hancock Center, where next month we'll begin another journey around Chicagoland on the CTA. I'm Dale Rivera. See you in October on Connections.
For more information about the CTA or to use the RTA's trip planner, visit our website at www.transitchicago.com. Or for customer service matters, call 1-888-YOUR-CTA. For travel information, call the RTA at 836-7000 from anywhere in the Chicago area.